What's going on, Detroit Lions fans? It's Jeff Iafrate here from Crunch Time Sports, and I can't help but make a video on some reporting that I've seen regarding Daniel Jones, the free agent quarterback, formerly of the New York Giants, who was straight up released. He cleared waivers, and now he's available. And it's been reported, pretty reliable sources, that the Detroit Lions are one of many teams that are going to be interested in Daniel Jones. Don't disregard the account, but more so the report. Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report. Fox does a great job. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones is in high demand. Expect the Ravens, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, and Dolphins to pursue him as soon as he clears waivers. Teams want to develop an offensive system where he can learn and grow. And it makes perfect sense for both sides. If you're Daniel Jones, you want to go to a great offensive system, you can develop a great team. And of course, for the team, they want a quarterback that, has experience. He's accurate. He's not an elite quarterback by any means, but he's a very good backup. And he's someone that, if needed to start, he would be one of the better backups in the National Football League. But let's actually go through these teams. So Ravens, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Dolphins. And this is what I find so interesting about the teams that are rumored to sign Daniel Jones. It's already been reported that he wants to go to a good team with a good offensive system. Look at these teams. Ravens, good team, yes. Have many flaws. They're in the AFC. I think it would make sense for them to sign Daniel Jones because of his mobility. He'd be a really good backup. But the Ravens aren't the best team in the AFC. You go to the Vikings. Okay, good offensive system. He would probably have an opportunity to play. We'll see what happens with Sam Darnold, but it's not like there's a huge drop-off between Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, so I don't hate that either. The Lions, I think, are the clear, obvious team for Daniel Jones to go to. You go to the best offense, you go to the best team in the league, and you get to back up Jared Goff, learn, develop. And if you ever were to play, if Jared Goff gets injured, you get to step into an elite offense, best offensive line in the National Football League, best running back duo. You got a plethora of weapons. It's just a great opportunity for him. The 49ers know I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. The Dolphins, absolutely not. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. And Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat. So really, to me, it's between the Lions and Vikings. I think that makes the most sense for Daniel Jones. Now, if I'm Daniel Jones, I don't hate him for wanting to go to the Vikings, given the weapons that he'll have at his disposal. Kevin O'Connell's an offensive coach. I think those two teams it's pretty close. But the best overall team, there's no question, it's the Detroit Lions. And if I'm Daniel Jones, that's where I want to play. Who wouldn't want to play for Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and step into this offense if his number was called? Which, that's the thing I did want to get to, because for me, I don't think Daniel Jones by any means is a great quarterback. What I have seen out of Daniel Jones is this. In New York, always had a bad offensive line. When he had Saquon Barkley, he wasn't bad. So let's think about those two things for a second. Never had a great offensive line. The Detroit Lions, he would immediately have a great offensive line. The Vikings, they just lost their left tackle, and the offensive tackle they traded for, Cam Robinson, just got hurt. So offensive line more shaky with the Minnesota Vikings. So you have the better offensive line right off the rip. You'd have the best run game besides Philly, of course, and probably Baltimore. But it's up there combined. I would take the Lions. You have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. It's incredible. Saquon Barkley is obviously different, but Eagles aren't in the market for Daniel Jones. So that's not an option. So I think with Jahmyr, David, this offensive line, he would be fine if they needed him to play. So I think, if the Lions were to make this move and Jared Goff were to go down for a game or two or a couple of games, I would feel comfortable with Daniel Jones in there. And this is coming from a Hendon Hooker guy. I do believe Hendon Hooker has gotten to a point where I'm very comfortable with his development. But the reality is Hendon Hooker doesn't have as much experience as Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has played in playoff games. Daniel Jones has started in a lot of football games. Hendon Hooker has not. So when you look at it from that perspective, it just makes more sense for a team that right now is ready to win a Super Bowl. And Daniel Jones, the more experienced starter, he would benefit. And he would be the guy that you would go in and be like, he's more ready than obviously Hendon Hooker. So that's why it makes so much sense to me. Like the Saquon factor, you know, you don't have Saquon as a single running back, but you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's one of the better running backs, and Dave Montgomery, and them combined, I think best backfield in America. And then you have elite coaching, which matters for any quarterback. So I think this is honestly a great thing if they do sign Daniel Jones. I think it's a great fit for both sides. He wouldn't cost much of anything because it's already been reported he wants to go somewhere that he will benefit from, and vice versa. So I think it makes a ton of sense. I'm open to it. Let's be real here for a second. If Jared Goff goes down for the season, you're screwed anyway. But if we're talking about him getting banged up or out for a couple of games or out for a half or out for a game, whatever it is, to have a guy like Daniel Jones, you would be better off than probably an inexperienced Hendon Hooker. That's the reality of it, guys. And even if he was out for the entire season, you would probably still be better off with Daniel Jones, given his experience. Like again, he's not Jared Goff by any means, but you would be better off given he's played in a lot more games. He's taken a team to the playoffs, not by himself, of course. Saquon Barkley was there. He's not someone that's going to save the game for you or be a big reason you win football games, but he can just game manage. That's all you need him to do. So I'm open to this, guys. Very open to it. I have no issue if they were to pursue Daniel Jones and sign him. I think it's a perfect fit for both sides. Obviously, stays in the NFC, gets to go to a great organization right now, great best team in the NFL, best offense in the NFL, honestly, an historic offense, if you will. And I would be absolutely open to this. But what do you guys think of this possibility? Do you think it makes sense for both sides like I do, or would you rather just start Hendon Hooker? Because believe me, I am a huge Hendon Hooker guy, but you cannot deny the more experienced quarterback here with Daniel Jones. You'd probably be better suited off with him. It is what it is. And listen, Hendon has the mobility, has the arm. He has that stuff. But what you can't teach is experience. It comes with starts. It comes with playing time. And Hendon Hooker, for obvious reasons, has not played because Jared Goff is the starter and he's played at an elite level. So Daniel Jones comes with that experience, which I do think would be highly valuable to a team that needs a backup right now. I love it. I have no issue with it at all. But comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the whole matter. And if it's a possibility, I do think the Lions are interested. I believe Jordan Schultz on this. I do. I think the Lions are actually interested. I think it's accurate reporting. But we'll see what happens. And if it does happen, we will be covering it. So stick around, subscribe. I know half the people that watch the videos are not subscribed, which is wild. Subscribe to the channel, watch our live show, and keep up the support. We appreciate you guys. We're trying to get to 11,000. We're about 120 there away from being there. But until next time, I will catch you. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.